Welcome back to the show. This time, we're going to talk about how the heck do you do game development while having a full-time job and/or a family. It's not easy. I know. It's really not easy. And most of the advice out there is that it's coming from typically people who don't have kids, who a lot of them have quit their job and have decided to do game development full time because they save some money. But for, I think, the majority of us looking to get into this, we have jobs, we have full-time jobs, and most of us have families, or a big chunk of us do, right? So it's really hard to balance working, having time with the family, and finding time and energy to do game development. It's not easy. So what do we do? Well, let's first start with the advice that's out there. No one really talks about what to do when it comes to balancing your family time, your work time, and your game dev time. No one does. They just kind of say, find an hour, or they don't bring it up at all. No one really talks about all the big names out there. Most of the advice is just your generic how-to advice, but none of it's really how to balance your family, right? If I can think of some examples, I just can't. I can't think of any examples because I don't think I've heard of any real examples of how people actually balance their life. It's always do the grind, put the time in, but life happens, right? You have issues at home, you have things you have to fix, you have messes to clean up, you have holidays, you get sick, you have work, you have family, you have extracurriculars your kids have to do, you have babies, you have all these things, and then you're left with almost no time and basically no energy to do game dev. A lot of the advice you hear out there when they talk about it, they're putting in hours and hours and hours a day, especially the full-time ones. They're the ones they quit their job, or they managed to start making some money from doing games or selling assets or making games. And now they're doing it all day long, and they're kind of putting up a facade, making it look like you're the same as them, or they're the same as you. That what they're doing is exactly what you can do also, but they don't consider that you might only have 1 hour a day. They're putting in 12 hours. It's their full-time job, and that's fine. That's good. That's great that they're successful. But working full-time, 12 hours in something, compared to you who has to put 8 hours or 9 hours into your job and then some time into the family and you're not left with much time, it's just, the things they say sometimes is just not very practical. Especially if you're like me, I'm not a morning person, like, at all. So I have a really hard time getting up in the morning and putting game time in before work. I just can't do it. I've tried it plenty of times, and I just can't do it. I'm a night person. I have to put my game dev time at night. It's just what I do. Everything goes in at night. My content creation, my game dev stuff goes in at night after the kids go to bed. So if you can do the morning stuff, go for it. That's not for me. So since we are so limited on time, like myself, I have 4 kids. I have a full-time job, I have a wife, and I have 4 kids. And I have set rules for myself to not do game dev while the kids are awake. Unless it's like a weekend or I have a long window, like a day off. Then I might put a few hours in, 2 hours in here and there. But pretty much if I'm working, if it's a work day and I come home, I don't come home and go on the computer and start doing game dev. No, I spend time with the kids. It's just something I want. I don't want them to think I'm always gone, I'm always working. I want to spend time with them. And then my window shortens again, and I have to spend time with the wife. Got to give her attention too. Have dinner, we watch some TV, something like that. And then it's my narrow window to get something done. And not only that, is to when I'm learning game dev or building games, I also have to work in other responsibilities, like maintaining the garage or fixing the car or mowing the lawn, stuff like that. That's still part of our daily life. And it's something that's just not considered or not thought about. So it's a very narrow window that we get to actually put towards game dev, and it's really hard to manage time. It is. But it is doable. It 100% is doable. You just have to cut things out. You have to cut things out, and you have to learn time discipline. I mean, that's pretty much all it is. I pretty rarely actually play video games anymore, and I'm not always happy about that. And you might think, well, how can you make games if you don't play games? Well, I play games when I need to play games, and I have a good enough understanding. I've been playing video games for 30 years now. I have a pretty good understanding of how video games work. I don't need to know all the advanced features and the modern tactics of every game. That kind of stuff is irrelevant, right? I have enough understanding of how video games work to make them. So do you. And when you have to do game research, you can put a little bit of time here and there. A little bit of time is key. So back to, how do we manage our time? What do we actually do to find time while balancing work, while balancing a family for game dev? How do we find the time, and how do we manage it to the best of our ability? Okay, well, say you have a full-time job and you have children and you have other responsibilities around the house, and you want to put at least 1 hour a day in. I hear people say 30 minutes. 30 minutes is not enough. You have to do at least 1 hour, minimum 1 hour. So you put 1 hour a day. Okay, well, man, I'm exhausted. I just worked till 5. We made dinner, hung out with the family a little bit. It's 8 o'clock now. I'm exhausted. I don't really feel like working on game dev. It's really hard to put an hour in. I just want to chill out on the couch, maybe scroll on social media, maybe play some games or watch some Netflix or something. But did you see how many things I named there? Sit on the couch, scrolling, Netflix, video games. That's 4 things. I guarantee you there's an hour somewhere between those 4 things in that night. 8 hours, or after 8 o'clock. Say you went to bed at 10, which is pretty early for my standard. Say you went to bed at 10. You have 2 hours. Take one of those hours. Don't scroll for an hour. Don't Netflix for an hour. Don't play games for an hour. And put it towards game dev. 1 hour. You might be tired. That's fine. But struggle a little bit. Put it towards game dev. Stay motivated. It's you can put 1 hour a day. You can take an hour away of scrolling. I think the first thing you should do, if I would recommend, if you were going to minimize something, take something out of your life to maximize or improve how much time you have for game dev, scrolling social media is probably the best thing to do. That or video games. Actually, I think cutting video games out is the best thing to do. Why? It's the hardest thing to stop. It's the hardest thing when you're playing a video game, when you say to yourself, 5 more minutes, I just need to complete this quest, right? Or I'm a big Medieval Dynasty fan. That's usually my go-to game. If I play something, I jump on that. How many times have I told myself, I just need to cut down 10 more trees because I need to build another cabin? Cutting down the 10 more trees and building a cabin turned into another 45 minutes of gameplay. In my head, it was going to take 5. Turned into like another hour. If you stop video games, or if you do game dev before you make rules, before you do your game dev, or before you do any recreational activities, make rules where you have to do game dev for an hour before you do anything else. That's how I get things done all the time, right? When I want to do exercise or something, I say, okay, because I know if I have a struggle where I want to work out, but I want to do game dev or my content. But then I get so deep into game dev and content that the bedtime comes, right? It's midnight, 1 in the morning, and I'm too tired to work out now. Like, it's not a good time for me to work out. So I have to tell myself I can't do my game dev or my content creation or anything like that until I get a workout in. The workout only has to be 20, 30 minutes. It's in the garage. But I have to do it before because otherwise I don't do it at all. So give yourself time. Say, hey, I'm not going to do scrolling. I'm not going to watch anything on Netflix. I'm not going to play any games until I get 1 hour of game dev, and strict 1 hour, not 45 minutes, an hour, 1 hour of game dev. Do that. Try that. I know it's going to be hard. I've been through it. That's how, when I was learning software development, I taught myself software development in 1 year. When I was learning it, I had 2 children at the time, and they were babies. They were small. They needed my attention. They were twins. We had twins, our first kid. Twins. So it was not easy, but I waited until they went to bed, hung out with the wife a little bit, and then grinded. And then I put the time in. I cut video games out. At the time, I was playing a lot of battle royales with my buddies, and I had to just spend less time playing games with them. It was hard. It wasn't easy. It wasn't as fun as playing games, but I had to do it because I had a goal. It can be done. I'm not the only one who has done this. Anyone who is successful has cut out things in their life that are not as important. It's not easy. It's hard, but it's something you have to do. And I'm not trying to be negative or downer, but it's just the reality of things. It's just what you have to do. It really is. I see people at work all the time. I see people that are 1,000 times better than me at software development, 1,000 times better, or could be 1,000 times better than me at game development, right? They are way better coders and programmers than me. But when it comes to game development, or I talk to things, they want to get into game development, right? They say, oh, I've been looking into Godot, or I've been looking to Unreal or Unity, and yeah, I was trying to do these cool features, and then 1 week they're working on this game, the next week they're working on another game, next week they're working on this game. But then I also talk to them about what they do, outside of that. And majority of the time, they're playing video games. They're playing whatever the hot game is at the time. Hey, and you working on your project? You still working on it? I haven't put much time into it this week. I'm just seeing what's gonna happen. We're just messing around with things right now. When months go by, even when there's multiple of them, months go by and they just don't get anything done. And it's because 100% because of their discipline, not because they don't have time. Everyone has time. You have time, whether you have a job and a family or you don't. Everyone has time. You just have to find it. You have to cut out the things that aren't as important. Now, usually that's not fun and usually it sucks, but you have to cut things out. You don't have to cut everything that's fun out. I still watch TV. I'll watch an episode of something in bed. Right before I go to sleep, I'll typically watch an episode or start something. Usually, I've been kind of dozing off quicker lately, but I'll start something. Funny, me and my wife have been watching Lord of the Rings, and it's taking us literally a week to finish one of the movies because we watch a little bit and I go work on stuff. And we watch a little bit and we go work on stuff. That's pretty much what it is. Let's go over what needs to get done or what needs to be done if you have a family and a job and you're trying to learn game dev. Let's just outline everything really quickly and make sure we hit all the points. The first one is you can do it. You have time. Everyone has time, regardless if you have a family and kids. I have 4 kids and I work a full-time job, and I still find plenty of time throughout the day. It's not always easy. Sometimes I have good days. Sometimes I have bad days. Sometimes I'm happy, sometimes I'm a little depressed because I didn't get as much done. Things come up all the time, but you have the time. The second one is you just need to find it. You need to find the time. And the easiest way to do that is by cutting things out that aren't important. Cutting out social media scrolling, doom scrolling. Cutting out Netflix or any streaming service. Cutting out what other things can you cut out? Pretty much. Oh, cutting out playing video games. Obviously, cutting out playing video games. These are the big 3, right? Social media, videos, and video games. So now you know you have time. Now you've found the time. Now you need to use the time. All right. So how do we use it? 1 hour a day, minimum, 1 hour. You can do it. It's not that hard. 1 hour. It's going to start flying by soon. If you stick with 1 hour, after a few weeks, maybe a few days, you'll be doing 2 hours and 3 hours. You do that. Find the time. You have the time. Find the time. Use the time. And if you're having issues, if you're struggling with actually finding the time and not wasting it on other things, then don't do those other things until you do game dev, until you start learning game dev. Make sure you put the time in, the 1 hour into game dev before you scroll, before you watch anything, before you play video games. And you just rinse and repeat every single day. Find the time, use the time, and repeat. A good thing I like to do, one thing, major thing, is I like to write things down in my notebook. This is my pocket devlog. This is something I made. It's designed based on, I like Field Notes, the brand, but this one's geared towards game development. It has little extra things built into it. And just something I like. I like to write to-do lists. It's something how I keep track of my daily activities. I like to do a overall to-do list of pretty much everything I need to get done, whether it's game dev or content creation or things at the house, overall to-do list. And then I'll either number those for priority, or what needs to get done first, or what can I do for the day, or I'll make a second to-do list of things that I can do that day, right? Today I can probably get done these 5 tasks. And I'll still number the other ones too, so I know what's important and what's less important. But that really helps. Having a physical to-do list really helps. Because while sitting at work, I can have this with me. I can write things down, and then I can reference it anytime. Otherwise, I'll forget. I forget things all the time. So if I don't write it down, then usually I don't get it done. And then I'll be laying in bed and I'll be thinking, I forgot to do this. I forgot to do that. I wanted to do this and I didn't do it today, right? To-do list. Write down in there every day. Make a to-do list. Number 1 priority should be game dev. And then everything else below that. So then when you get home and you put your kids to bed, you look at it and you say, what's the first thing I gotta do? Game dev. You do game dev and then you go along the list. Then you do the rest of what you need to do. So yeah, so what you should need to do is, so you have your time. So you know you have time, you found the time, and you're utilizing the time. You are disciplined now. So now you can balance your family, balance your work, and balance game dev. If you have any questions, just reach out to me and we can discuss it. We can find other tactics. Now, you don't have to do everything I suggested here, but this is what worked for me. This is what I applied to learning software development. And this is what I still do today. And it works great. I have time for work. I have time for my family and kids. And I have time for my game dev. And my doing game devs at night, doing my game dev at night doesn't affect my children at all. They're not like, Daddy, you're always doing stuff. You're always working. You're always on your computer. Because they're in bed when I do it. So they don't even realize I'm doing it. So I don't have to feel guilty about it. If I did it in the middle of the day, I would feel guilty all the time. But I don't have to because I do it at night when they're asleep. I do it in the time that I would normally be on social media or playing video games. So I don't have to feel guilty. So I'm going to leave it at that. If you have any questions, just reach out to me. I know this is a hard subject. This is a tough subject. And we all go through it. And you got this. I know you can stick with it. Just keep it up.